YOLO! Hi everybody! And topic 36 is a part 3, and surprisingly, I have the inspiration to come up with a part 3, which is about why different languages should be respected. If you haven't watched part 1 and part 2, be sure to watch them. I will put the link in the description because I'm sure I did not do that for part 2. So I will put the link to part 1 and part 2 in my description for an easy reference. And let's get into the video. Now, languages define cultures. Cultures have languages, and when it comes to languages, they even break down the different dialects. For example, I'm a Chinese person, so as Chinese, you know that there's various dialects when it comes to Chinese. There's Hokkien, Cantonese, Hakka, Teochew or something. Okay, sorry if I pronounce any dialects wrong because I kind of suck on dialects, and my Chinese isn't too accurate either. And speaking of languages, this video is kind of a serious thing because I feel like people today do not even take into concern when it comes to languages. Like for example, you know when it comes to when you come out to work in society, there is a good chance where you will be facing with people who are of a different cultural background, and there's a very good chance that they're speaking not just speaking different cultures, speaking different languages, and these languages many times are very hard to pronounce. Like especially if you're working internationally, there's a good chance that you will be coming across European languages, or if you're working in even within Asia itself, there's Japanese, Korean, Tamil if you're dealing with Indians, and there's a lot of that local dialects. Actually, in Thailand, there's Thai as well, and many of these languages break down into even more dialects. They are local slangs and they're local. Some are not even considered as languages because it's such a tribal communication medium. But the thing I want to really discuss about is the fact that many people don't even take it seriously, and often so the excuse used is, this is how I pronounce it. This is how it's spelled, so it should be pronounced this way. Now, to me, it's very, very unacceptable because there's a reason why these languages are being spoken by these people. It's very simple. I came across this Facebook post on Facebook where they're talking about like car names that we always pronounce wrongly, and there's a fake examples um, like listen carefully, Peugeot. Many people in Malaysia say Peugeot. I'm sure you will say that too, but the actual pronunciation is Peugeot, is because it's in French, or not Peugeot, Peugeot, something like that. And I saw in the comment section, and people are saying like, it's not our fault of mispronouncing, is that we are using the English way of reading it. Okay, fine. I know that you love to show off your English. I know you love to show off that you have a very good sense of language. But let me take it extremely seriously. These words are in French. So let me put it into your context. Would you like it if I continuously and repeatedly call your name or mispronounce your name wrongly? You will like that too, right? It is the same thing when you are mispronouncing words of other languages, particularly other languages and cultures, repeatedly, and the worst part is that these people deny that they are in the wrong, which to me is absolutely disgusting. Because why is it that you can mispronounce and make mistakes on other people, but other people cannot make mistakes on you? That is the major issue. And it's not just car names, like there's also people's names, and people will always justify saying that this is how I pronounce it without even realizing that this is not your language. For example, you cannot be going to another country and say, I don't want to follow this country's rules because I don't come from this country. Wrong. It is the same thing. When you're in another person's territory, you follow the rules of that territory. Similarly, when it comes to names, you are pronouncing names or certain words which are not in your language, which means it's not your territory, so you ought to follow how it's pronounced. It is like how you cannot make spaghetti into sushi because spaghetti is Italian, sushi is Japanese. You can try to localize it, but if you localize it beyond its identity, you're literally destroying it. That is the reason why I'm actually kind of pissed when it comes to people unable to get the names right. And another reason why I feel like people today don't respect languages is the fact that people take the pride too seriously. And I'm okay with being proud of your own culture. I'm proud being a Chinese because, you know, Chinese culture is beautiful. Chinese culture is wonderful when it comes to the descendancies and what we inherit. I feel like Chinese culture is absolutely amazing. But I will not go to a point where I will blindly defend every wrongdoing of the Chinese. Like okay, I'm not gonna make any claims because I'm sure you'll be asking for proof, and I'm just randomly giving a speech, so I'm not going to discuss too much. But I'm sure every culture has its right side and it has its wrong side and the dark side as well. Don't tell me a culture is perfect, because no cultures are perfect. So I feel like the other reason why languages are not being shown respect is also indirectly affected by the pride of our own culture. Because why would you want to defend your way of doing things? It is because of your pride. However, you're overusing your pride towards your own use. I'm proud of being Chinese, so I want to use the Chinese way of doing things. And if the person is not a Chinese, they're gonna feel offended because it's going to be a cultural shock, which is why there's this thing called cultural shock. So I feel like when it comes to respecting languages, okay, not everybody is perfect when it comes to mastering languages. So let's take the first step, which is to learn to accept that cultures are different. I think that itself is already good enough to change our mentality when it comes to handling a language. So let's start by accepting that no cultures are perfect, all cultures are different, people deserve to be respected for their cultures. Before you criticize another culture, take a look at yourself and look yourself in the mirror. So basically that is my opinions on language abuse in sense of languages needing respect, and that is the end of my series of language abuse discussion. Thank you for bearing with me for the 3 parts, and I will see what I will talk about next. But until then, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching and see you.